Porifera. See, I explained all the phylums, everything. I just explained the characteristics, everything. But somewhere I was feeling very guilty that I couldn't show the specimen. That's why I just thought, let me make a video on the specimen alone. So this is the specimen for the phylum Porifera. The phylum Porifera gets its name because it has pores, right? So here they are, like, you cannot see the pore, but here what you can see is, I think you can see the osculum. You can see the osculum here, one pore, the opening pore. I told you they have the pores which is called ostia, and they have inside spongiosele, and they will be attached, and this is their anterior end. This is the anterior end, which is a free end. In the free end they will have a opening called osculum. I think you can see osculum. This opening here, the dark color structure, the opening, that is osculum. So this is an example, one of the example for the sponges or porifera. It is cycon. So this is cycon. Okay. So next you'll be seeing the coelenterata. These are the specimens for the phylum Coelenterata. So what is Coelenterata? They have gastrovascular cavity. They are diploblastic animal, and they are also called cnidaria. Why they are called cnidaria? Because they have the stinging cell in the cells called cnidoblast. So this is Aurelia. This is the jellyfish. This is the jellyfish. You can see, the tentacles you can see. Okay, and they have transparent blob-like structure. Okay, so this is jellyfish. And this is the corals, corals, right? So this is coral, and this is called Physalia. Okay, this is called Physalia. This will grow very big. These are very small young ones. They are collected. Okay, they will grow very big. This is all specimen for the phylum Platyhelminthes. What does Platyhelminthes say? What are the characteristics? Their body is dorsi-ventrally flattened. Body is dorsi-ventrally flattened. So this is tapeworm. See, like a ribbon, you can see, right? See, completely it is flattened, and they have the small units. And this is a parasite, okay? And this is also parasitic form. This is liver fluke. And you can see that branch digestive system here in the liver fluke, okay? So these are the two examples for the phylum Platyhelminthes. So what are the characteristic feature? We learned it is dorsi-ventrally flattened, it is triploblastic animal, it is bilaterally symmetrical, and it is acoelomate. Acoelomate means what? Body cavity is absent. This is few specimens for the phylum Nematoda. So you know what is Nematoda. Nematoda are called, generally they are called roundworms, isn't it? So the examples for roundworms includes that is Ascaris and Wucheria and filarial worms. So here we have in our lab, this is the roundworm. This is the male roundworm, and this is the female roundworm, and you can see this is the hookworm. Okay, right? So you can just I'll bring it a little bit closer to you. I think you can see it's clear, I think. So let me show you the specimens for the phylum Arthropoda. So these are specimens for the phylum Annelida. So you know very well, Annelida, they are the organisms which for the first time showed the complete digestive system. We also see closed vascular system. Okay, so examples, this is leech. Okay, so this one is leech. You can see this is leech. Okay, I'll bring it closer to you. I hope you can see. Yeah, this is leech, which is parasitic form. I told it will attack the animals and human beings also. And this is the farmer's friend, that is earthworm, which you are all familiar with. Okay, and this is Nereis. can see. Nearest, you can see the extension here, that is the fleshy parapodia, which will help them in locomotion. So this is about the specimens related to the phylum Annelida. Annelida, they have annulation, they have rings, they are also called segmented worms. Okay, and we see closed type of circulatory system. Okay, now let me show you the next phylum, Arthropoda. So phylum Arthropoda, you know very well, they are animals with joint legs, right? Okay, that's how they get the name Arthropoda. So these are the examples for Arthropoda. It's the largest phylum, you know very well. So here, and you see any insect, you should know it belongs to the phylum Arthropoda. You see mosquito, housefly, ants, okay, and butterfly, wasp, honeybee, and dung beetles, termite, all belong to the phylum Arthropoda. And here, this is centipede. You can see that, right? You can see that body is segmented, and you can see the legs also, right? Can you see that? You can see the legs, and each segment bears a pair of appendage, I told you. So they have this legs here, and the feelers they have, antenna they have. Okay, this is centipede. And this, this is the scorpion, right? The scorpion, you can see, isn't it? Okay. You can see that sting, and it has those legs, right? Okay, and you can see it has a very hard outer skeleton. One more feature about Arthropoda is that they regularly they shed their outer skeleton. That's one of the characteristics of Arthropoda, is that they regularly shed their outer skeleton, that is called molting. Sometimes you would have come across with the white cockroach. It's not white, it would have shed this external or the old covering, that is skeleton, that is called molting. So this is prawn. So you can see prawn. See, it has that legs, right? You can see the joints also. And these are the appendages. It has the antenna, okay, and this is the crab. You can see the crab. Okay, I hope I'm holding it clearly and you can see. Yes, so this is crab. So these are the few example specimens what we have in our lab. This specimen here from the phylum Mollusca. They get the name Mollusca because the body is soft. You can see this, right? This is their outer shell. I told you most of the animals will be covered by the calcareous shell. So they are made up of calcium carbonate, and you can see inside. So I told you they don't have segmentation, least or little segmentation. Little segmentation means what? They don't have segments, right? Body cannot be differentiated into any part. Only they have this fleshy, what do you call, actually it is called mantle, fleshy mantle. Inside that only we find all the system, whether it is digestive system, respiratory system, everything. Okay, and they are protected by this hard covering called shell. Okay, calcareous shell. Almost all the animals will have shell except for one or two. So here you can make out, right? This one, what is this one? This is octopus. You can see the octopus, it has eyes and it has these tentacles, right? And they have the suckers there, right? They have 8 arms. So this is the octopus. So these are the examples for the phylum Mollusca. And you have seen snails, slugs, and people also eat, right? Even they eat this octopus, this freshwater mussel, all this thing. Next, let me show you specimen for the phylum Echinodermata. Phylum Echinodermata. So Echinodermata gets its name because they are spiny skin animals. So they bear spines, which actually their skeleton, which protects them. So this is our starfish, and I told you they are radial symmetry. They show or they exhibit radial symmetry. They are triploblastic animal. Okay, understood? So this is the starfish and this is the brittle star. I hope you can see. Yes. Okay. So then I think I showed all the specimen. I hope you understood. Thank you.